Welcome to the sports show. Hope you're staying warm. Put another log on the fire. Patrick Royce, Lou Nanne, and Sid Hartman. Sydney, last week at this time we discussed the future of Leslie Frazier. It was made clear the next day that he was out.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd fire him, but I did think they would force him to make a number of changes. And according to Spielman, they didn't make a decision until Sunday night.
Well,
that was the best line of the press conference.
He didn't make it to sunrise. I know that. Sunrise was 7:51 a.m. He didn't make it to sunrise.
Yeah, we slept on it. Yeah, after he checked out all these other coaches.
Coaching is not their problem.
What is?
Personnel is their problem.
Okay, defensive personnel or quarterback personnel?
The quarterback is not great, and he's not Luck. At Luck the other day, 31-10.
Boom.
Kansas City's ahead, all of a sudden, boom. There's not many guys around like that.
Patrick?
And the point is, their secondary's got nothing but holes. They need help there. I don't know if they'll bring that Henderson back after what he's done.
No, he's done.
Pretty doubtful.
He's done.
The defensive line, if they don't sign Williams, who actually finished real strong, Kevin Williams, at the end, defensive line coach was telling me he was as good as anybody at the end. And Allen, what they going to do for players?
Would you let somebody else talk? Jeez. Patrick.
Well, I think it was...
Let somebody else talk.
Yeah, I mean, you just gave a 5-minute monologue.
I think Spielman and Leslie got cross swords over the whole Freeman mess, and it was, Spielman got his way with the Wilfs and got him fired. It was Spielman's call, and I mean, the Wilfs let Spielman make the call.
And he never really was a Frazier guy.
He never got on the band.
Mark Wolf loves Spielman. So.
Well, there you go. Louis, tell me about general manager-coach relationship. What does it have to be?
Well, the general manager's got to be the boss and picks who he wants as a coach. If you're going to have it working
what's your
properly.
relationship have to be good?
Well, I think you've got to have a working relationship. You got to be able to get along with the person. I don't think you can be cross words with them and not eventually affect what's going on the playing field, the ice, the basketball court, whatever.
I was talking to Brian Billick the other day, and he said it's a general manager's league now, and they've got all the power, and they've accumulated all the power, and what they want is you keep your mouth shut, coach, and I'll give you the personnel, and you just coach them. You think that's true?
I would think it'd be true. If you're the general manager...
He said that's why you don't see powerful coaches.
No, you provide the players for the coach, and the coach coaches the team that you give them. You know, but the thing is, I know when I was working with the coaches, I always would consult them on people we might either get rid of or add to the team. I wanted their input. I want to know what they thought about them. I want to know if they felt they'd be a good addition or subtraction, because he's going to have to work with them.
The best combination.
Lovey got the personnel control in Tampa.
Now, is that
and
Chile
had control of the
53-man
player roster when they hired him. So,
which is how he got rid of Moss.
Coaches ask for it. Whether they get it or not is another thing.
And in Childress' case, he got rid of Moss, and that might have cost him his own job too.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that it's different in football than baseball or hockey by a large margin, because baseball and hockey, you have farm teams, you have development teams, you have other players that the general managers is always working with and trying to add to the system so that eventually you might be able to play in your team. Football,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, you got the one you get from college, and that's it.
Best combination general manager and coach I've ever seen. Well, Jim Finks and Bud Grant. Boy, that was a...
How was it so good? Why was it so good?
They got along so great. Like, I'm sitting there one day, and here comes Finks. I'm sitting with Bud. I get up to leave to say, we got a chance to get the tight end from New York. What was that?
Bob Tucker?
Yeah. He says, do you want him? Yeah, if he'll keep his mouth shut. So the first thing he walks in, Tarkington comes up to him. He says, let me tell you, buddy, this is not New York. You shoot your mouth off and you go take a few too many drinks, you'll be out of here.
I think Finks and Bud got along so great because Bud was more than willing to let Finks do all the work. Bud had coached the team and go to the lake and go fishing.
And he did give him some pretty good players.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
That was the best combination I've ever seen.
But of course, but the other thing,
how about Louis and Bill Mahoney?
Yeah, let's not forget that, man. That ride.
No, Glenn Sonmore and I had as good a relationship as
Yes.
anybody. Bill Mahoney, I like Bill a lot. Bill just got all tied up in what the media was saying,
Bill
what
got
they were
you to the
doing.
Western Conference Finals one year, didn't
he did very well. But then he really started getting affected by what the press was saying, writing. He used to have it tacked up behind him in his office, and they'd come in and he'd have it underlined. Did you say this? And then they just got crosswords, and they, of course, would tell that to the players, and the players would,
How many
that was another
coaches
thing.
you have?
Essentially, I only had 3.
3?
I had Sonmore.
And how long?
Well, no, I had 4. I had Sonmore, but when Glenn had some problems that, we had to put him in treatment, then I had Mahoney. Then I went back to Glenn. Then I had Henning. Then I went back to Glenn. And then I had Herb.
Did you
Did you have trouble in the locker
I
room?
never had trouble with
Did you
anybody.
inherit
Controlling
Harry
the
Howell?
locker room.
Was the first guy in the job, Harry Howell?
Yeah.
Who controls the locker room, Louis? The leaders or the coach?
The coach first. The coach has got to be the boss. You could, if your leaders aren't very good, he can change the leaders, or if they're captains, whatever. But the coach has got to be first.
This locker room is unbelievable. The media might as well not even show up.
The
None of
Vikings,
those
you mean?
guys, huh?
The Vikings you talking about?
Yeah. No, Thursday you have Allen and Peterson. That's the only assurance you have of anybody else. The only guys that show up are the nobodies.
I think they're a little worried. They're not, when they talk about wanting somebody to run a locker room, they're not that worried about the media, though. I don't
No,
think.
not at all.
Worried
Take
about-
a break, come back. Stay
Worried
with
about
us.
staying out of jail.
Yeah.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL. Proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
Sports stadiums and new construction are taking off. In just 20 weeks, Summit Academy will train you to be an in-demand electrician and help you find a job. Absolutely no out-of-pocket cost to you and no loans to pay back. So call 612-377-0150 today.
Hi, at Dale Festi Automotive, we know you don't want to trust your car to just anybody. That's why we only hire ASE certified technicians to get the job right the first time. This commitment to excellence has led to being selected AAA Top Shop 12 years running. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Dale Festi Automotive in Hopkins. On the corner of 18th and Main Street and on the web at DaleFestiAutomotive.com. Mention that you saw this ad and get 15% off labor and installation.
A blizzard is awesome, right? Well, our one-of-a-kind grill burgers are just as amazing, with the bold flavors you can't get anywhere else. Like our all-beef quarter-pound bacon cheese grill burger, topped with melted cheese, hickory smoked bacon, and fresh toppings on a toasted bun. Or try our mushroom Swiss or famous flamethrower grill burgers for even more burger bliss. These burgers have so much flavor, they could only be from DQ. This is fan food, not fast food. The incredible DQ grill burgers, starting at $2.99.
It's Family Leisure's liquidation sale. Over $2 million of inventory must be sold. Save up to 80% off retail. Spas and pool tables from $888. Bring your truck or trailer. No reasonable offer refused. Special financing available. Full warranties apply. Hurry in now to Family Leisure's liquidation sale.
Audi A4 drivers have spoken. And they rank the A4 highest in total quality index in its class. Experience the new Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
Locally owned, nationally known, J.D. Hoyt. Stop by this wintertime. It's a perfect time to tuck away and just have a good meal and relax for a couple hours, get away from it all. J.D. Hoyt's in downtown Minneapolis. Quite an episode with Chris Kluwe this week, and you wanted to talk about that. What was your take on it?
I don't know. Kluwe was a very unhappy guy when they let him go.
Well,
and he waited till the end of the season and really went up to him. But the one thing he's got going for him, that the Vikings got going for him, the fact that Ziggy went up to him and says, I agree with you. So I would think if that goes into a court where the owner of the team said, it's okay what you're doing.
Well, it's not going to go into court.
Kluwe's not unless Prefer sues Kluwe.
Yeah, it's not going to go into court.
There's no court.
They can cut him. It doesn't matter what he said.
No.
So it's not going to go into court. And the Vikings are only doing this, to make sure that there's not a racial bias that they have in the locker room. And they have to do it. They have to.
You mean that's why they hired their own people to investigate?
Yeah, but it's not.
By the way,
Kluwe, if he felt that way, he should have done it right away when he got cut. Yeah. He's just a bitter man because now he's got no job and now he wants to get other people fired.
Even more than bitter, he's a publicity. He loves the attention.
He should have done it right away. If it really concerned him, he should have done it right away.
Deadspin is an outlet for the Kluwes of the world. 2.3 million new hits on that. The most read story in Deadspin history. Just what he was looking for.
And they're the ones that broke the Brett Favre sexting story, if I recall.
Yes, yes. This got more unique hits than that one.
But I want to make one other point, because I think some people misunderstand this. I don't think this is about gay rights at all. It's about, are you a distraction to the team?
Yeah,
it's never about gay rights.
That's what it is.
No, he could have been. Yeah. He could have been outspoken on the other side of it, and they still would have been offended.
Just like Tim Tebow doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
Although I don't.
No, by the time next season rolls around, it'll be forgotten.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
for sure.
by everybody but
for everybody but him.
Yeah. But he gets paid for next year at least.
Yeah, but it might affect his ability to get another job someplace.
No question it will.
He had a great reputation as a coach.
Yeah.
I can remember the media. That would have been worth a 3-line 18 head.
What?
Yeah.
I have no idea what a 3-line 18 head is.
It's not much, is what he said.
You're saying it would be a small part in small print?
No, everything.
It wouldn't have been a small part because it wouldn't have been mentioned.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been mentioned. It would have never gotten to the public view. So.
Even so.
Green Bay loses in the cold today. How does that happen?
How does that happen? Wasn't San Francisco the favorite?
3-point favorite. And they won by 3.
And they won by 3.
I think they got a better football team, but I thought the cold weather would favor Green Bay because they played a lot in Green Bay, but they're pretty crippled up. They didn't have 2 of their best linebackers.
I'll tell you what, though.
They had 3 or 4 bodies carried off again today.
But this was quite a weekend for the NFL. If you want to start the playoffs, right? 3 of the 4 games were fantastic.
I have a theory, boys. I have now hit a theory on the NFL and why we love it. We always talk about gambling and fantasy football. We realize when we watch today's game, these guys might be, half of them might be criminals, and they might be dumber than a box of rocks, but we are watching the most valiant athletes in the history of Western civilization, and we realize that. They are playing a game that human beings shouldn't play in conditions where human beings shouldn't even be outside, and we're watching them perform. That's my theory.
Louis?
I'm a big football fan, and what Pat said is right. I just loved watching it from the warmth of my living room.
Here's the thing. I get a kick out of those guys. You go down the last 5, 6 minutes or 7 minutes on the field, and they're killing each other.
Right.
the game's over, and they all start praying together.
You can never make amends with that, can you? You've never been able to put that together.
If I ran through that tunnel, I would have been praying before the game today.
And how about the Kaepernick and those guys wearing short sleeves?
Oh, God.
Yeah, making their statement. But the people forget the Vikings didn't sell out Met Stadium for playoff games either. Pillsbury used to have to step in, remember?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, sir.
People remember these great Met Stadium. They were great crowds, but in the playoffs, remember, Pillsbury had to step in or the game wouldn't be televised.
Yeah, they paid, they bought the tickets.
Yeah, just like
everybody in Green Bay waited for the other guy to buy the tickets.
They sure did.
Well, there was no way they're going to have blackouts anyway.
For playoff games?
Right now, they are fighting. No, but they're fighting, legislation that
somebody would have bought the tickets
to fight the blackouts. That you can't have any more blackouts. Yeah. The NFL is not going to want to take that into
court. They've become so lenient on that.
Yeah.
I thought they had a new deal where you could subscribe to different deals. You could say 90%,
100%,
80%, or
whatever it is. It seems like everything gets televised. Yeah. Take a break, come back.
Attention, please get a pencil. Announcing a hearing breakthrough, a microchip that is so small it can fit on the head of a pen, worn hidden entirely in your ear canal, making you hear clear as a bell. And it's proudly made in the USA. Do you feel left out of conversations? Is it difficult to hear words in noisy environments? Do others say that you listen to the TV or radio too loudly? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your problems hearing? If you answered yes, you may qualify for this new chip in the ear. Only 50 participants are needed to try this microchip, so get a pencil. Call now to see if you qualify. This revolutionary chip actually mimics the natural sound selection of the human ear. With multi-core microprocessors, technology used in the most advanced computers, sounds are analyzed and classified each millisecond, controlling noise and making speech clear. Do not wait. Call now to see if you qualify to wear this revolutionary new microchip.
Evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad's an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to car and drivers 10 best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
Check out that A6 and those that are made for the four seasons. They'll get you through the winter months and beyond. Audi Minneapolis off of General Mills Boulevard and 394. Stop on by, see Bruce, Charlie, and the whole gang. Welcome back to the Sports Show. At that juncture in the show where we say, what about the Minnesota Wild, Sydney? We'd like to go to you first on this one. You deferring?
I personally, we try to get...
I have no idea.
We try to get the owner of the Wild on the radio today.
He was having brunch with Louis.
He's always telling me, call me anytime you want, I'll go on. But today was unavailable.
Hey, they won 2 in a row. Yo's safe. Now they got, what, a 3-game road trip, Louis?
Go out west, yeah.
And they have to win games without Precy, without Spurgeon, and maybe without Koivu, which is really going to be tough.
What was the verdict on Koivu? He's got an X-ray this morning.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they hurt?
Hopefully, yeah, they're hurting. Hopefully they get at least him back. Oh, that's got nothing to do with him getting fired. It all depends how the rest of the guys play. But and as Mike just said, we don't know about Harding either. And they are playing L.A. and Phoenix, but Phoenix is one of the teams you have to beat for a playoff position. Yeah. So that's a huge game. It's a huge game. That could be a telling factor as to what goes on.
So what are they, 10th right now in the Western Conference, I think, the Wild?
10th, 9th. The games played are...
Okay, so tell me what they have to do to make the playoffs.
They're going to have to beat Phoenix.
I mean, is it just about getting healthy, or is it a lot more?
Oh, no. They're good enough to be there with the Wild. They got to continue to score more than 1 goal a game to start, and they got to be better in their own defensive zone. So they have to play like they were playing earlier in the year, and they got to try and get to 2.5 goals a game. And that's something that they've had a real problem with.
They weren't doing that when they had Precy.
Yeah, they were. They were doing about 2.5 goals.
Yeah,
a
but
game.
if they can shoot 45% like they did last night, they'll be fine.
They're not going to have the 5 goals on 11 not too often.
You never. I didn't know. Of course, maybe you did because I guess it was just the Wild history. But they said it was the first hat trick by a defenseman. But that was for the Wild.
For the Wild.
Maybe you had one for the North Stars.
I had one in Montreal, but I was playing forward then.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have one?
Yeah.
You played forward for a season or
One
a game
season.
or a what?
One season.
Really?
Yeah. We beat Montreal 6-5 that night.
Wow.
How many seasons did you play?
10. I played in 11, but 10 complete ones. I came after the Olympics in the 11th year, so I played in 10 seasons.
Was it tough to leave Harvey?
To play in the NHL?
Well, you know, Harvey said if you put the skates on again, you can't work for me anymore. So I signed a personal service contract, and I took off to play for the North Stars and met the team in St. Louis and came back. We played Saturday there, Sunday here. And after the game, my wife says, Harvey wants to see you Monday morning in the office. So I walked in. He says, how are we going to work this out? When are you going to work for me?
Yeah, but
Months?
you weren't.
I said, I can't. He says, you're kidding.
It was a touch and go. You weren't sure you wanted to play.
Well, no, I wasn't sure I wanted to play till the money was right. When the money got right, then I wanted to play.
Were you playing for Rochester
I remember
in the
talking to you.
USHL?
Yeah, but then I was playing with the Olympic team.
They sell those envelopes.
Did you buy some envelopes from him at that time?
I might have. I don't know.
No,
No.
you never bought it.
No.
When did you buy anything?
They were trying to get him to play from the word go, but he hesitated for a while.
Yeah.
Well, they probably throwing you about 5,500 back then, huh?
No, more than that. No, not the North Stars was more. It was the Blackhawks.
Who owned the team then?
McNulty, Bush, Ritz,
God,
Ordway,
God.
Driscoll, all that group.
Hey, what you've got an estate sale coming up?
I got a what?
Estate sale. An estate sale.
Estate
You're
sale.
selling some of your stuff.
Essay.
It's estate.
An estate sale.
Yeah.
You got
He's
one
still
coming
alive,
up.
Sid. Somebody tell Sid he's still alive.
But then you don't get to keep the money. What are you selling and when? What is that about?
Well, I got a bunch of clothes and stuff.
Clothes?
I'm going to eventually give it to.
You might want to send that one to the dry cleaners.
I like some of your crap.
I knew that would work. Take a break. Come back.
Do it.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Ponder, the Wild, Zach Parise, the Timberwolves, Ricky Rubio, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
Hi, I'm Daryl Johnston. Once again, Taste of the NFL is the hottest ticketed Super Bowl. Join me, along with countless other NFL stars, as we take over Brooklyn on Saturday, February 1st, for the annual Party with a Purpose, where food, football, and fun come together to help kick hunger in America. For tickets or more information, visit tasteofthenfl.com.
There it is, Taste the NFL. Wayne Kostrowski and his crew, they're heading towards the Super Bowl. What a night it'll be. Look it up at tasteofthenfl.com for more information on how you can help feed the hungry.
This wouldn't have been a good weekend for Super Bowl in New York with 20 inches of snow.
Can you imagine that?
It might have been a little complicated.
Ooh. Or today wouldn't be a good day for that outdoor hockey.
No, it wouldn't be.
What is the forecast?
January 17th, we're having the outdoor game at TCF Stadium. I bet it's going to be about 25 degrees. It's going to be beautiful. Perfect night.
They haven't even looked that far ahead, though, have they?
I have. 25 degrees. Come up,
No, not now. No, January, when we have the outdoor game at the TCF. The Gophers in Ohio State.
Isn't that this year?
Yeah, January 17th.
Yeah.
It'll be warmer.
25 above?
Yeah.
Hey, did you have Colgate ahead of time to win the Mariucci Classic with the number 1 and 2 teams?
That
in the
was
country?
that was not good. That was not good. No.
How'd that happen?
Are they going to sell out for that game?
Well, I don't think the Gophers played nearly as well as they could have. They played much better against RPI, but the Gophers got to do something about their power play. It's just been atrocious.
Really?
It's very ineffective.
They
It's
missed a couple of their best players.
No, they played. They
played?
came back and played Saturday against RPI.
Oh.
And their specialty teams, they haven't been good. The rest of the time, they're 5-5. They've been good.
They're number 1 in the country, though, Louis. What can you say?
Now my Huskies will be number 1.
Yeah, now they're
Are they?
No, they won't be after this weekend.
Yeah.
Who's number 1?
Probably St. Cloud.
Yeah,
Ferris State got shut out by Colgate.
Yeah. What the Timberwolves game last night, was that the darndest thing you've ever seen, or what?
Well, that Durant is something, I'll tell you that. He's talking to those guys before he shoots. He's telling them, this three's for you.
Yeah, he's that good, yeah.
This three's for you. He don't miss anything. He's something.
But 6'11", and he's basically a guard.
But this is a team. They need one more player someplace that can score. How many games have they? 13-point lead.
I got an idea. Draft Trey Burke and keep him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Instead of bringing in Shabazz Muhammad.
Yeah, it didn't work well. But what we found out is what we talked about a few weeks ago. They're healthy for the most part, and they're an average team, the Timberwolves.
Well, they haven't got that guy.
But yeah, but I mean, how many? They play teams that are all. Westbrook didn't play last night for Oklahoma City. I mean, every team's got.
Here's what's happened. When you get in the fourth quarter, you got 2 guys who can score points, Love and Pekovic. You got, Kevin Martin doesn't do anything down the stretch, and Brewer and Rubio can't shoot. So
Rubio could have won the game last night. He had 4 or 5 shots at the end, didn't come close.
He didn't take that many shots.
Is that why you wanted to go for a hockey game? Why I didn't see you there?
No.
We might have had to
go for a hockey game with you.
Yeah. Let me say something about our old friends at FSN, though. Last night, you get as good a regular season basketball game as you're ever going to have. And Jim Pete, I love Jim Pete. I covered him when he played for Augie Schmidt at St. Louis Park and whoever this other guy is. All they're doing is bitching about the officials. Let's talk about let's let the audience enjoy the game and stop whining. It was a hell of a game.
They got that from watching Louis doing that commentary over the years.
No, I never criticize the referees when I'm doing color commentary. When I'm general manager, I criticize.
Yes. Yeah, well,
but
that's
color commentary, I don't.
What was the old guy who had the Toronto team?
Harold Ballard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the best up there.
He was.
Every penalty, his Toronto team never had a penalty.
You're at the Gophers today.
Yeah.
Saw them a couple times this week. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're better than I thought they'd be. I mean, both Hollands won the game for them, but the
19-point lead.
Was 19-point lead?
16-point lead. Was that the biggest?
16. I was there.
If that game lasts 5 more minutes, they don't win.
The Big Ten.
How can you say they're better than you thought they were? They should have beaten Michigan. Michigan didn't have their best player, and they didn't have their second best player for half the game.
Right at home.
Gophers were favored. They should have beat Michigan. The Hollins boys had a horrible night, and today they were good.
Well, the thing that favors them, though, we've talked about this a little bit before, too, is the Big Ten's got 3 or 4 really good teams, and after that drop-off is huge.
Yep.
Louis, you were there.
Well, it was an entertaining game today. It was really fun.
3, 4 good teams. Illinois is pretty good. Wisconsin's pretty good.
Well, he's
Michigan
one of the 3 or 4.
State's very good.
Who else? Okay, there's 14.
Michigan State, Ohio State. Michigan State, Ohio State.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quart surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL, proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.